Highway B runs north in Laclede County for miles, twisting over hills and hollers in true Ozark fashion. It takes you to Caleb's Creek, 16 miles from Lebanon. The wrought iron arch embedded with the words Caleb's Creek might be mistaken for a cemetery gate, but instead of tombstones, there's a spring, a pavilion with picnic tables, playground equipment, and a basketball goal. Caleb's Creek is a memorial, a living tribute to a little boy who died. A park whose loving caretaker is the grandfather he left behind. For the years of backbreaking and tender loving care of Caleb's Creek, Charles Williams is our 2012 family hometown hero. Caleb Haring was an 8-year-old boy who lived with his mom and dad, Marcia and Carl, and his siblings, Zachary and Paige, in a house high above the creek on Highway B. He loved his family, friends, and his church almost as much as he loved that creek. In fact, he called it Caleb's Creek. One Sunday afternoon after church, Caleb and a couple of his friends and younger brother were playing near his home when Caleb slipped off a wooden cable reel. A rope swing hanging nearby became entangled around his neck. Caleb laid in critical condition in a Columbia hospital for 5 days before succumbing. The accident happened April 26th, exactly 20 years ago today. In the months following his death, the family decided to keep Caleb's memory alive by building a park along Caleb's beloved creek, Caleb's Creek. They carved out a part of the Haring's pasture that created the perfect place for quiet thoughts, or for children to catch crawdads and enjoy the creek just as Caleb did. Family members and friends too numerous to mention all did their part to see Caleb's Creek become a reality. But it has been Charles who has taken care of the park for all of these years, all done in the name of love for his first grandchild taken too soon.
Charles spends many hours down here working at the park because of the love that he had for his grandson.
For 20 years, he's taken care of the park. He keeps Caleb's memory alive, just taking care of the park for people to enjoy.
Building fence, repairing fence, cleaning out the fence row, shoveling tons of gravel for the playground, carrying numerous buckets of water for the flowers, logging hours and hours on the lawnmower, picking up trash, replacing timbers, spraying for weeds and bugs, among all of the other things it takes for upkeep. Living just 2 miles from the park, Charles stops to check on it almost every time he goes by, picking up a limb or stopping to weed one of the flower beds. Floods especially have done a lot of damage over the years, but that doesn't stop Charles. He jumps right in and starts the rebuilding. The park used to be decorated in grand style for every season, but now Charles uses his own money and the family concentrates on decorating for major holidays. A pavilion was added and small pieces of play equipment have been added over the years. People assume it is tended to by an organization, but it isn't, just Charles. Although family members help, they all agree that Charles is the backbone of Caleb's Creek. He's invested time, money, and love into the park like no one else. Even though Charles has been diagnosed with macular degeneration and his eyesight is failing, his dedication to his grandson's memory through Caleb's Creek remains as strong and as faithful as it was 20 years ago. Charles and his family love to see others enjoying Caleb's special place because they know Caleb would have wanted to share his creek. Caleb's Creek has hosted many family reunions, picnics, and children have even been baptized in its water. It's a welcome respite for weary travelers, and it's the perfect place to lay down burdens. Passers-by will be sure to know the story of one special little boy by the silhouetted statue of Caleb with a poetic inscription written by family friend Ivan Eden. He wrote these words on that sad day exactly 20 years ago. A young man stands in his Sunday best by the pastor one morning to welcome the guest, not knowing that his mission was almost through or that tomorrow his world would be brand new. I envision angels singing around God's throne when the message came down, "Bring Caleb home." For the earth is too full of troubles and fears for such a precious one to face through the years, and now a young man stands in his Sunday best by the gates of pearl to welcome the guest. Caleb Haring may be gone, but he is certainly not forgotten by his family, his friends, or anyone else who visits Caleb's Creek because of its loving caretaker, Charles Williams, our 2012 family hometown hero.